Monster trucks, machines forged in the nightmares of minds that never left the sandbox. And on this playground, childlike wonderment and complex geometric process combine to create a spectacle for kids of all ages. The All-Star Monster Truck Tour continuing its 2019 campaign in the little town of Northeast Pennsylvania, Lake Erie Speedway. Playing host to 6 awesome machines who will do battle here on the tarmac. There you see Greg Winchenbach's awesome Crush Station Raw machine out of the state of Maine. We'll be seeing him a little bit later on in the action. Capacity crowd here tonight getting ready to witness the best trick competition highlights coming at you right now, and it started off with Chris Sawicki in the Lumberjack. Now I think he wanted a little bit more out of that first move, but this right here, laying down a strong run to start things off. Up next was the lone representative for Ritu Motorsports, Lindsay Ritu, and the 79 Bronco Pretty Wicked. She wanted to raise the bar, and she would whip the crowd into a frenzy. Awesome cyclone out of that machine right there. Zane on hand, keeping those trucks nice and tight. Up next, Big Air Aaron Cain, Quad Chaos out of West Lafayette, Indiana. 2 huge wheelies out of this machine. 1 sky wheelie, 1 slap wheelie. Aaron Cain driving a truck that for years they said couldn't do a wheelie. Well, he's proved them wrong in the last few. Up next, our buddy out of Bethesda, Maryland, Corey Snyder. Toxic. Corey in his own ride this weekend. This is a guy we've seen here before on Monster Power, driving Black Stallion in the Higher Education Cool Bus. This is what he likes to do in his own machine. Another one of these Maryland boys who likes to show off the 2-wheel skills. Corey, definitely taking it up a notch. Stood it there for a while, brought it back down. Something different for the fans here in Northeast. Now, Greg Winchenbach, you want to talk about a guy who can do some awesome wheelies. Carried that one across one of the racing rollers there, then had to one-up Lindsay Ritu. Found a dry spot and whipped dust all over the Lake Erie Speedway. Up next was a man they call Mullet. MISSENTZIS out of Marysville, Indiana in the Dirt Crew. That was just hit number 1. Hit number 2, Mullet surprised himself. Right into the bus stack. Wild, wild move for the big dump truck out of Indiana. One of those high-flying Hoosiers. We asked Mullet after this run if he had intended to do that or if he was going for something else. He said it caught him a little bit off guard, but it was good enough to give him the best trick victory. We are not even close to done, though. When we come back, we're going Monster Truck Racing. Stay with us. It's gonna get wild here at Lake Erie Speedway.
This Back Channel Productions program is presented in part by Monsters Monthly. For up-to-date show and ticket info, articles, and event breakdowns, a wide selection of photo and video galleries, visit monstersmonthly.com.
Lake Erie Speedway in Northeast Pennsylvania, the All-Star Monster Truck Tour getting ready for St. Louis style monster truck racing. It's twin ovals. For those of you who have not seen this style of racing before, ran some qualifying runs a little bit earlier. Tim MISSENTZIS is about to show you what the bottom lane looks like and why this may be the favored lane for the rest of the weekend. Very aggressive driver out of Marysville, Indiana. Nice flat run. There was a little bobble here you'll see coming out of this final corner. There's some dust on top of the asphalt. That's normal on a track like this, but it does make things slick. Good run for Tim MISSENTZIS and Dirt Crew. That was the pace setter in qualifying. CAIN, Quad Chaos out of West Lafayette, Indiana, however, did not want to be outdone. He's going to show us the topside lane and some of the downfalls of running on the upper side of this course. Problem number one, uphill turn. Rear end steps out on a butt. He compensated for it, got a nice straight shot through the rollers there. Everybody had that same problem with the rear end stepping out. CAIN, however, seemed to be set up for it and with a very aggressive shot across the finish line. 28.97 elapsed time, gave him the number one qualifying spot. And it would set the stage going into round number one. Here's a look at how that bracket worked out. Dirt Crew would take on Toxic. Tell you a little story about that matchup. Then the teammates, Crush Station against Lumberjack, and number one qualifier Quad Chaos takes on the number 6 qualifier Lindsay in Pretty Wicked. There you see Tim MISSENTZIS and Dirt Crew lining up. Back on that bottom side to go against Corey Snyder out of Bethesda, Maryland in Toxic. A lot of Snyder family history on the starting line here. Corey's dad Jay used to drive the machine that's now got the dump truck body on it when it was Screaming Demon. Truck started life in 1993. He's still out here running strong. Started life as Gary Bauer's Nightmare 2. Now battling with the son of its former owner, and he may be looking at a victory in this round as Corey would succumb to the same problems that that topside lane was giving everybody else. MISSENTZIS driving on into the semifinal round. Corey would have to hope to come back through the bracket as a fast loser. We would see. Next matchup, a pair of teammates. Weight advantage has to go to the Crush Station, but two fairly evenly matched trucks as far as chassis setup goes, and a pretty even pair of runs through the first leg. Again, though, the topside turn giving trucks fits. Winchenbach taking full advantage of it as he heads toward the final corner. So Wookie would spin out, but he would be looking at a pass through to the semifinals. Crush Station would not make it back. Problems for that machine out of the state of Maine. He would take it back to the pits and get it ready for Freestyle, the final pairing in round number one. CAIN, Quad Chaos, taking on Lindsay in Pretty Wicked. Very colorful group of trucks we have here this weekend. Some awesome machines out of the Northeast, taking on a few awesome machines out of the Midwest. CAIN, back in that topside lane. So far this weekend, he has been the only guy that has been able to make that lane work to his advantage, and you're going to see him put on a clinic right here. Big jump off the starting line for CAIN. Watch the corner. Rear end steps out, he gets back into the throttle, straightens it out, and just plows through the corners. He's actually using that camber to his advantage. It is awesome to watch, and he is laying down some really straight shots. Lindsay will have to wait for another day. Maybe able to get herself a little further into the bracket tomorrow. CAIN headed toward the semifinal round. Take a look at that bracket. Dirt Crew and Quad Chaos. That would be an awesome matchup to start off our semifinal round. And then Lumberjack and Toxic, a guy who got back into the break rule, and our fast loser. Going at it in the semifinal round. First, though, the teammates. Tim MISSENTZIS on the flat side. Aaron CAIN, the only guy who's been able to push it on the top side. Little advantage to CAIN at this point in the run, but watch this last corner. It stepped out on him early. He actually drives over the corner marker. But MISSENTZIS, a little too deep into that corner. Aaron CAIN flying across the finish line. He would head to the final round against the winner of this next semifinal matchup. CAIN with a distinct advantage, having figured out that topside lane. I know I keep saying it, but here you see Corey Snyder down there on the bottom side, getting ready to take on Chris Sawicki in the Lumberjack. Notable lead right now to the Toxic Ford. Sawicki would have more problems on this upper side, but when they get back down to the final corner, that's where things are going to even up. Both of them getting into the corner marker, but Sawicki was able to get it back under control first and knock out Corey Snyder in Toxic. It'll be Chris Sawicki, guy who did not think he would be in the final round. You can see lining up against Aaron CAIN in Quad Chaos. And look at the lane that Aaron CAIN has chosen. He knows that Sawicki has been having a lot of trouble up there. CAIN has been on this top side all night long. He's giving up a little bit of the advantage that he's had for a more distinct lane advantage down on the bottom side, knowing that Sawicki has had so much trouble up there. You can also see that they've recently watered the track, and that's causing them some problems. Chris Sawicki slid all the way through that corner. Missed the jump there, and that's pretty much the end of it. Aaron CAIN, not his prettiest run so far this evening, but a good run. Quad Chaos blasted across the finish line for the victory, and Chris Sawicki taking a second place, well-deserved. He was able to stay in the field, parlay a comeback through the break rule in to a final round berth with this man right here, Aaron CAIN, Quad Chaos, the racing champion on night number 1 at the Lake Erie Speedway. Power coming at you from the Lake Erie Speedway in Northeast Pennsylvania. It's time for Freestyle. Back to live action. Lindsay Ratu out of Camden, Delaware, coming out flying and pretty wicked. She spent first quarter really strutting her stuff on the arena tours, learning this machine, learning how to operate it in a small space now, getting a chance to cut it loose over some big obstacles. Last week in Mansfield, Ohio, she laid this truck over on its side during the best trick competition, so she's not afraid to step out there. More awesome donuts, smoking the tires up here on the high side. Looks like she's struggling a little bit with the rear steering. I don't know if the self-center may be going away in that thing. We saw her struggle with that a little bit last week as well. Working her way around though as the sun sets over northeast Pennsylvania. Off the other side of the bus and down hard on the nose. Plenty of good hits here, and she's showing a lot of spatial awareness. As you see, she can cut those donuts in kind of close to the walls and close to the barricades without having to worry the track crew that she's actually going to get into any of the track property. And it makes for a more spectacular show when you can kind of ride the track boundaries. You can get the truck going a little bit faster, and I can guarantee you, if not sooner, by the end of this year, she's going to be one of the toughest competitors in monster truck competition. Good run for Lindsay Ratu, and Pretty Wicked. It looks like she's going to wrap things up right here. Score of 8. I know she would have liked a little bit more. It was a good run, though. A strong run. Going to make these guys work for it. Now as Chris Sawicki out of Chicopee, Massachusetts, heads out onto the track. Keep in mind, these guys have to get through 2 days of freestyle over these obstacles, and these are not forgiving obstacles. If you hit something wrong, you're going to go for a wild ride and tear up some parts. So Wiki getting after it. Nice hang time right there, and I'm noticing that they're actually using that embankment to their advantage now. Where it hurt them in racing, it's going to really help them in freestyle, because you can throw the truck into that and start pulling donuts on the high side of that. You can actually drift down. You'll be able to pick up your momentum as the truck slides around. And again, they've watered the bottom side here. Nice hang time for the Lumberjack. Truck out of the state of Maine, driver out of the state of Massachusetts. Smoking those tires. Chris, one of the friendliest guys in the monster truck industry, is going to wrap it up there. Strong run, maybe not the most spectacular run, but I can tell you he'll be back here tomorrow. He'll cut that thing loose because we'll have nothing to lose on the final day. It's going to be a score of 19. No, that hang time helped him out. There's one tough competitor after another. Aaron Cain. Big Air, Aaron Cain. You're about to see where the nickname comes from. Man out of West Lafayette, Indiana, and Quad Chaos. Really keeping the speed up well, and he just flies off the backside of that bus. Hard hit right there, and a lot of smoke starting to come out from underneath the rear end of the truck. I can't tell right now if he is having an engine problem or if he's having a problem with the rear end. It looks like it may be an issue with the rear end. It'll be a score of 15. More freestyle to come from here at the Lake Erie Speedway. Stay with us. Down to the last three here at the Lake Erie Speedway in Northeast Pennsylvania. Corey Snyder and Toxic out of Bethesda, Maryland, coming to lay one down here on Saturday night in front of the crowd up here in the northwestern part of Pennsylvania. Town called Northeast up in the northwest. I know that can get a little bit confusing, but we are up near Lake Erie, western side of Pennsylvania. Corey Snyder flying in the Toxic Ford. Travis, the former owner of this truck, here on hand tonight, watching Corey Snyder pilot this thing around. Good looking truck now out of the state of Maryland, formerly out of the state of New York. Mentioned earlier, we've seen Corey on past editions of Monster Power at the wheel of some of the Vodder's Motorsports vehicles. He continues to help those guys out, but whenever he gets a chance to drive his own machine, he loves to cut loose with it. He and his dad, Jay, keep it running nice and tight. You're seeing some flames out of the headers now. I don't know if he's running a little bit lean or what, but look at that wheel stand. Gonna worry about the wall a little bit down there. I think he would have carried that a lot further. Corey taking it up a notch here in Toxic. I think he wanted to go for a slap wheelie there, but the truck leaned a little bit too hard to the left coming down. Didn't let it stop him though. Let's see what he's got. I have a feeling before the end of this run, we're going to get some awesome cyclones out of this guy. He loves to cut that thing loose. A little bit too wet down there. Not a whole lot of tread on those China tires. You start getting them in water like that, they'll grip great on pavement, but get them a little bit wet, they'll just slide. However, that might work out in his favor right here. Little fire, smoke, and horsepower by Twilight Corey Snyder. Laying down a run in Toxic. I'll say he raised the bar. We'll have to wait and see what the score is, but he has got to feel good about that run right there. There you see it, 21, Corey Snyder, new leader. And he better have laid down a good run, because look who's coming out now. The legend out of Jefferson, Maine, Greg Winchenbach's awesome Crush Station with the Crush Station Raw theme on this year. Of course, historically, whenever he's changed the color scheme on this truck, he's had a run of bad luck. This thing seems to run best when it's red. I don't know what the curse is, but it seemed to have followed him. Did not follow him here, though. Had a pretty good night in spite of a few mechanical problems that took him out of racing, but the truck looks real good. Had a good run of it last week in Mansfield, Ohio. Nice hit right there. If you'd like to check out the action from Mansfield, head on over to TMB TV. Check out Action Tracks from Mansfield, Ohio. Awesome night of action in spite of some cold, rainy, windy weather. These guys put on one heck of a show. Saw Corey and Lindsay and Greg all there laying down some awesome runs, and Greg about to lay down another one. Truck headed off to the left. I'm not sure if he could have gotten a slap wheelie out of that with all that dust and water there, but didn't want to lay into it too hard. He would have been in big trouble had he hit that bus with one corner of the truck. Nice hit right here. He's getting some huge air. He's using every bit of track space here at the Lake Erie Speedway. Thought he was headed out of the track for a second. Thought he might have a problem. He heads back down toward these wheelie bumps. Using them to perfection. Walking the big monster lobster. Right up the main grandstands under the lights. Kicking up the dust. Greg Witchenbach, incrustation. Wait on the scores. 24, new leader by 3 points. And that leaves us with 1 to go. Tim MISSENTZIS out of Marysville, Indiana in Dirt Crew. Big air to start things off. This should be a good run because he's looking at potentially taking the overall event championship. Won the best trick competition to set him up with some good points going into racing. Made it into the semifinals. And now if he can win freestyle, he could take the whole thing. Hang time is just massive. Look at him walking. Thing torqued up on him to the left. He'll run this thing into the ground, fix it, come back tomorrow and do the same thing. Don't think you're ever going to get a light run on Tim MISSENTZIS. Big hit right there. He's one hit off the bus after another. Over on the left side. That's what he was looking for. Mullet, don't forget the truck out of shape and driving out of it. Whatever is in front of him, he's going to hit. Really fits the mold that Jerry Beck was looking for in putting another driver at the wheel of this truck, but I don't know. I think he gives Jerry heart attacks sometimes. Truck doesn't always come back in one piece. If the dump bed wasn't evidence of that, this thing's been over on its roof more than once. Wild wheel stand off to the left again. MISSENTZIS. Big Ram dump truck cutting loose. Rake rotor's blowing underneath. And it looks like he's going to wrap things up right here. Not a bad one at all. Tim MISSENTZIS. Driving the wheels off of it. Tim MISSENTZIS coming out to the cheers of the crowd, and it's a 27 freestyle score for him. He will take the freestyle victory and the overall. Scott Heaton heading down to talk to Tim MISSENTZIS.
Something wild and crazy. Exactly what you got. I don't know. I think I call stupid and fun. Stupidly fun is exactly what your job is all about. And you gave a tremendous performance tonight. The all-star team of the night. Now you're going to go front and sign autographs. I'm going to stay here and sign every autograph for every fan here. I love you fans here, Lake Erie. I just come here to throw down. I love this track. I love driving on asphalt. I got my teammates for me afterwards. Maybe now. Maybe turn the truck on you now. Got some work to do. Folks, give a round of applause for your all-star team tonight. Tim MISSENTZIS and
What a night it's been here at Lake Erie Speedway. Another event to go tomorrow. Tonight's event, though, dominated by some high-flying boosters. Thank you for joining us for this edition of Monster Power. We will see you next time.